What's going on, guys? Eddie Sue from Siege Finance back at it again. So we're going to be doing a monthly budget check today for December 2020. It's about December 27th or 28th when I'm filming this. So there's a few days left to the year and I'm just wrapping it all up for myself right now. So I just crunched the numbers last night and let's get at it. So if you're not aware, I am someone who has a budget and I am someone who is incredibly proud about having a budget. I'm young and I feel that this is the time when a budget can matter the most. Learning the lessons, understanding how it all works, putting it together, just building the experience. And so, some may not agree, but I feel that having a budget is one of the most powerful financial tools that you can have. But a budget is powerless without an expense tracker. By using a budget and not an expense tracker, you're kind of shooting in the dark. You don't know where you are. You're just ballparking the numbers right now. So in reality, a budget and expense tracker are some of the most important financial tools. And even if you choose not to have a budget, I highly suggest that you do use an expense tracker. It's better to use the expense tracker than the budget, and ultimately both of them together. And again, a budget is only effective when you choose to follow it. Just like a diet and exercise program, you can't see results without discipline and effective methods. And what I mean by effective methods is, when you're training in the gym, you want to use the appropriate weight, the appropriate intensity, and the days to weeks planning out. And so like a budget, you want to plan out the months and you want to understand what your costs are and where you can start to shave down the costs over the years. And it all adds up in the end, and you'll thank yourself many years from now over and over again. So let me show you what my allowable expense pie is. My budget is more of an allowable expense pie, as you might want to put it. My goal for my budget is to beat my estimated costs. So just like golfing, the lower the number, the better. If you're wondering how I built my budget, I spent approximately half a year tracking expenses, and I extrapolated the numbers over a 12-month period. The end goal is to increase my income as much as possible and tighten the budget as much as possible. And by doing so, the percent invested of my income can be much, much higher than what the average person is. The average person is advised to invest about only 10 to 15% of their income on a $50,000 salary. And I feel that this is not right, especially at a young age. You should be taught to invest as much as possible and invest the difference anytime you can. And if it is possible at such a young age that you are able to have a positive cash flow, and as in you're spending less than you're making, that means that you kept yourself in a good place, that you didn't overreach or overextend yourself. You should invest as much as you can. The sky is the limit. The percent invested can go all the way up to 100%. And well, technically it can if you're a very, very high earner. Say like $50,000 expended on a $1 million income per year is only about 5%. So that's just how numbers work. Numbers are numbers. I was able to invest about 75.25% of my income for the year, which I'm very, very proud of. And I feel that it will go a long way, especially with compound interest over the next 45 to 50 years. So as you can see, rent is my largest portion with just about 38%. So this is my general expenses that I just pay through my mother to handle. So there's some more general personal stuff, so I'm not going to go too much in detail, and I will not be including it in this expense video. So of course my next biggest one is books and supplies, and I'm a college student right now, and it sucks to hear, but you gotta pay for your laptop, your subscriptions, your notebooks, and the books can be a killer. I'm not gonna lie. I'll talk more about that in the video. So from a 2017 Government Canada survey, spending showed that one person household spends about $37,000 a year Couple without children, it's about $65,000. Couple with children is about $88,000, and a lone parent is about $56,000. And assuming the average person only earns about $50,000 to $60,000, you are still able to invest the difference of what can be $14,000 to $24,000 difference if you are still in the one-person household. And if you're lucky and you are in the two-person, no children situation, you can have upwards of $46,000 invested per year. That is an insane amount that will turn up to what can be over $5 million to $10 million by the time you are retired if you invest that entire difference. So the lone parent household, it's a tough position to be in. Single parent mom or single parent dad, you might be spending more than you're earning, and you might not be able to invest. But if you are able to just cut down on some costs as much as you can, you might be able to break even. And best case scenario, you find yourself in a higher income earning situation in the future. You are going to be able to allow yourself to invest the difference by avoiding lifestyle inflation. So over the next 12 months, I'm going to try to cover one of each of the topics or one of each of the categories in the annual expenditure. So for today, I'm going to start out with groceries. And as you know, I'm currently a college student who lives at home. So I sometimes do my own grocery shopping when I have to, but don't take that as I don't know what I'm doing. I do know what I'm doing. I understand what it takes to feed myself in a week, but I'm not an expert yet. I'm still learning. I'm trying to cut costs as much as I can. And as a college student, I know how important it is to plan out food costs. I suggest following a similar meal plan to help trim costs. As you saw earlier, the average single person spends about $4,700 on food, which can be a lot if you can save, maybe $100 a year, $200 a year, upwards of $1,500 a year. It all adds up in the end. So just some general tips. I'm sure you hear this a lot, and just avoid takeout in restaurants. This is where they get you. The money, the costs, it's much higher than when you cook at home. But I understand, you want to treat yourself. You have the fancy occasion, so try your best. Sometimes going out for lunch or happy hour can help reduce costs. Some more seasoned people, some more well-experienced people might know that. And then try to avoid snacks, bottled water, soda, alcohol, coffee. Some of these things can be detrimental to your health and your financial health. So it's a double bonus when you are able to cut down on these habits. So for a weekly grocery list, what I have planned out for someone in a similar situation is 2 dozen large eggs, so 24 eggs, so that's about 3 eggs a day, 2 kilograms of rice, 1 kilogram of ground beef, 1 kilogram of chicken, 4-pound bag of potatoes. Potatoes and rice can really help you fill in the carbs, find your energy, the macronutrients that you need. And then fruits and vegetables, it's about $25. This is a flexible position to be in. You might want to go higher if you need it, if you feel that your health is more benefited by allowing yourself to spend more, of course, go ahead and write it in. And then 1 kilogram of tuna. I know that some people can handle eating fish, but it's very beneficial for you. And maybe you could sub it out for some more fruits and vegetables or some nuts to help keep up the higher protein source. So for a total of $33,000, you're shaving about what could be $1,400, and even with a 10% room of error, say $3,300, you are still going to be able to save about $1,100 to $1,300. And again, the point right now at a young age is to save and invest as much as you can. But that will not limit you on your occasional beer or snack. You don't want to choke yourself out using a budget, because you're going to burn yourself out if you don't allow yourself room. You are going to want to be in a budget if you are feeling way too constricted. So this is what you came for, and in week 1, I didn't do too much. I was just finishing up finals, so I was at home for most of the time. The occasional trip to the gym and work, so that put me at about $20 of gas. In week 2, I decided to get a bike order in. I've been thinking about getting a bike over the year, and I really wanted it, so I decided to put the money down. I saved up, and that set me back about $700, but I feel that it will be worth it. At a economic standpoint, biking is cheaper than driving, but that is, of course, if you're not accounting for the sunk cost of the bike. But I feel that the sunk cost is worth it, because you can do so much more than just commute with a bike. You can go out recreationally, and you can see your friends with bikes. And so I also had to prepare for semester 2, and I bought 4 textbooks for a total of $445. I didn't have much money left over by the time of week 3, so I scraped together what was left from my part-time job to send about $700 to my portfolio. Regularly, I try to invest more than I spend, but you know what? I wanted that bike, and I wanted those textbooks, so I decided to put the money down for it. I also had to make a bit of a pricier trip to the dentist, which set me back about $330. Currently, I'm on student insurance, so that hopefully I'll get a decent return. And so the total for the month was about $1,165. Sorry, $1,165 and $700 invested. Week 4, I didn't spend anything, so I didn't. I left that out. Areas of improvement, I would say try to hold out on buying more expensive items for myself. It might have been that bike. And you know what? If you feel that you want to and it still fits in the budget, I waited till December to put down this purchase, since I wanted to crunch the numbers, see how the year was going, and I felt that I had enough room. So I feel that I could benefit from use of coupons and discounts, and maybe buying used next time I'm in a scenario like this. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. Can you please leave a like, comment, and subscribe? We're going to try and defeat that evil YouTube algorithm. And you know what? Reach out to me on Instagram at @EdisonSue_. You know what? Let's talk. Keep the communications open. And give me some feedback on the video.